that. I'm hoping this has fixed it for us. We had a problem with the syncing. Hope this is a lot better. If you don't mind commenting and letting me know, that'd be perfect. Let me just see if I can get Facebook up so I can see your comments. Alright. Not seeing any comments. There we go. Alright. Okay. How are we going, guys? That's a bit better, Sue? Hey, Tamara. How are you, love? Welcome back. Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties there. Slight panic, let me assure you. Just when we thought we'd gotten a grip on all of this, it all falls apart on us. Alright, so we'll jump back in it again and hopefully everything is good. Okay, so as I was saying, the weave this week is Cylon, which is a half Persian 3-in-1 variant. Oh, you got the new kit, Dawn? That's brilliant. First submitted, I think, by Blue Buddha. So this is a look at the... Can't get a really good shot there, but a look at the weave. So again, like the flat half Persian that we did before, uses HP 3-in-1 as the base, so it becomes almost a double-sided weave. I'll be doing that in the 14 gauge, just as you know, because I like to demonstrate in that because it's easier for you guys to see. We'll slip it over to the other view and we'll start on it. Is it too badly out of sync, guys? Is it okay? Alright, I'll flip this over. Okay, so just to show you some sample pieces I've made up. So this is 14 gauge, 10 mils ID for the outside, a 1/4 inch rings on the inside. Now the recorded AR for this weave is actually 7.1 and 4.2. I found the 7.1 just too large to handle, too unwieldy. So most of my rings have actually got an actual AR, so not a mandrel AR, an actual AR of about 6.6. And I found that to be a nice compromise. The 7.1, I just found it too loose. So this is it in 14 gauge, 16 gauge. 16 gauge I've used 7.5 on the outside and 3/16 on the inside. 18 gauge. Now I should have used 6.25 on the outside, but I didn't have any cut, so I went down to a 6. It works, but you can see with the others it's flexible in both directions. With the 6, so the slightly denser, it's flexible this way, but not as flexible that way. So I would suggest 6.25 for the outside rings, and it's 5/30 seconds, 18 gauge 5/30 seconds on the inside. And then I even went down to a 20 gauge for you guys to show you. So we've got 20 gauge 5 on the outside. Well done, Dawn, that's fantastic. A nice sale, I hope. So 20 gauge 5 on the outside and 1/8 on the inside. Okay, so that's what we look like. And as I said, we'll be working in the 14 gauge, so nice big chunky so you guys can see it properly. Okay, now I know we've shown the half Persian 3-in-1 before, but for anybody who didn't see that session, we'll do that again. So using your big rings, you'll need to close about half of your big rings and open up the other half. To start with, we have 3 closed ones. We stack them all up behind each other like this, and we put a twist tie in it to hold it into place. So the first step, now this is the half Persian 3-in-1, sorry, which is the basis of this weave. So we just go down through 1, 2, so through the eye of those two, and back up through the middle of the other ring. And we close that up. Okay, and that's our first step. What we do now is we pick up an open ring and we pop one of our closed rings on it. That becomes the first ring that we go down through. So it's down through 1, 2, and back up through 1, making sure we stay on top of that ring that we just placed. And we close that up. Oops, and there we go. Okay. And it's going, oh, it's a bit messy at this size. Unfortunately, it does easily get out of shape, which I've let it do. It's not an ideal half Persian 3-in-1 size. Oh, I've made quite a mess of this, haven't I? There we go. But it needs to be loose like that for us to put those rings in the middle. So it does take a little bit of fiddling around to keep it in place. So put one ring on, down through 1, 2, and up through 1. Close that. Okay. So you just make the half Persian 3-in-1 section about as long as you need the bracelet to be. So down through 1, 2, and up through 1. You can see how loose this is. So you can imagine with even bigger rings, it was really quite messy and very difficult to keep a grip of. So down through 1, 2, and up through 1, keeping it all on top. So you can see the weave starting to form. As soon as you let go, you can see how messy it becomes. It doesn't hold its shape at all. Okay, down through 1, 2, and up through 1. Just going to do this a couple more times. Down through 1, 2, and up through 1. Okay, nearly done. There we go. And I'm just going to neaten this end up. I'm not going to put a ring on the end. I'm just going to finish it up so it's a bit neat. Oops. Okay, and to try and keep it not quite so messy, I'm going to run a twist tie through there just to try and keep it stable, because it really is an incredibly unstable weave in this size. I'm just going to fix up the other end and take that twist tie off. I'm actually going to remove that one of those first rings to tighten it up. I just find it's easier to do this because the weave is so unstable. It becomes, just tying it down makes it a little bit easier to keep control of. Okay, so there's our half Persian 3-in-1 piece. So we've got the side with the ridge on it, which is considered the correct side, and we've got the other side which has a little bit of a dish in there, a bit of a concave effect. That's the wrong side, and that's actually the side that we'll be working in. So again, like the flat Persian, we'll put it in there. I will call mine Brian. After all, he's the Messiah. Okay. Oh, Heath. Right. Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit behind on the comments, guys. Do you like our new addition? We've got a new addition to the family. I borrowed that from my son. Okay. All right. So now we're going to start filling in the middle bit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the eye. So the eye being, because I've tied it down, it's now a little bit tight. So the eye formed by these two, we're going to go in and around that. Okay? Nice and easy. Through and back. So just around those two rings, okay? And we're going to close that up. Okay. And then we're going to do the same again, but down here, down the bottom. So in through here and up through here, circling around the eye that those two rings make. So down and up through there. Okay, and your work looks like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, oops, to not throw our pliers around, we're going to pop a ring through these two that we've just put in there. So just picking up the 2 1/4-inch rings, nothing else, and closing them up. Okay. So the next set of the next eye, again, picking up an open ring, we're going to go around that eye. But we're also going to pick up that single ring that we did just there. So we're going to go up through the middle of that. So we're going to capture that middle ring that we just popped in. And close it up. Okay, you see that? So another ring down here, through the eye down the bottom, doing the same thing, coming up and capturing the ring in the middle. Okay, so down through there and up through the pink ring. Okay, so it should look like that. Okay, and then we're going to add that ring through the 2 that we just did. So in there, just make sure you pick up those pink rings, nothing else. And we just continue down the length of the bracelet like that. I agree, Marion. Sometimes you look at these weaves and you think, oh my gosh, that's so complicated. And then you break it down and you think, oh, now why didn't I see that in the first place? Okay, so we will be putting a tutorial together, this one and a kit, which we'll make available later. So we'll do our little giveaway like we normally do. This time though, to earn yourself a tutorial from us, you're going to need to cough up and tell us what your guilty pleasure is. So if you type in the comment section while our video is live, and it's only while it's live, not the recorded version, what your guilty pleasure is. We'll send you out a copy of this PDF probably later towards the end of the week. It won't come out tonight, so probably middle towards the end of the week. We'll see how I go for time. Okay, so we're just continuing down the bracelet, circling around the eye and up through the middle of the ring that we've placed in there before. So I hope you can see that. Tim Tam Black Forest Bickies. Never had one. I'm not a real Tim Tam fan. I'm ashamed to admit. I think that might make me lose my Aussie card, but I'm not really into the Tim Tams. Ice Vovos. Yep, I could do a nice Vovo, Shirley. Absolutely. Okay. So now we're going to put the ring in there. Join through those two pink ones. Yeah, it's an interesting weave, Diane. I'm actually, just, as I've said before, I'm not a fan of half Persian 3-in-1. I never have been, and I'm quite enjoying finding weaves that use it as a base and just take it that extra step and make it such a nice looking weave. Chick flicks. Fair enough. Okay, so just continuing down the side, going around those two and up through the one in the middle. Okay. Oh, nope, I've mucked that one up. I'm too busy watching the comments and I've put that one through the wrong spot. And now I can't see the join. I think it's there. There we go. All right. Cutthroat Kitchen. That's my other half. Cutthroat Kitchen is his great guilty pleasure. He sits there and watches it most mornings. Peppermint Magnum ice creams. Oh, Joe, woman after my own heart. Okay, so in and around there. Don't pick up any other silver rings like I did before. It's not behaving itself. There we go. And up through the pink one. Okay. All right. Down through the bottom, just doing the same thing. Around the eyes, up through the middle. Iced coffee, frappe, and Game of Thrones. Ah, interesting. Together at the same time? It's another one of those shows I've been meaning to watch. I've sort of watched the first couple of seasons, but didn't really get into it. Okay, so we're going to go here in through the pink ones, just adding that single ring. Okay, oh, it keeps flipping up. All right, so around the eye and up through the middle of the pink one there. Okay. Jon Snow fan. Okay. All right. No, I think my husband discovered tonight my guilty pleasure is actually Patrick Stewart, so pop that through there. Although the leader of Matchbox 20 does it for me as well, so, you know. Okay. Ben & Jerry's between two Subway cookies. Interesting. Yes, yes. That would be a nice guilty pleasure. Okay, so just continuing down. I'm assuming everybody's got the idea of the weave, so it's not difficult. What's not bad, Dawn? Okay, through there. An iron thrown with a snowman on it. No, I'm afraid I'm right behind with the whole Game of Thrones thing. One day I'll get there. Yeah, Rob Thomas. Yes. He makes my heart beat. Okay, through there. Okay, so has everybody got a gist of the weave? If there's anybody that's popped on and they missed out what we're doing, if you want a copy of the PDF sent to you free of charge, you just need to pop in the comments while we're live what your guilty pleasure is. And we'll send it out to you in a few days. It won't be straight away, but it'll get out to you in a few days. Okay. So I've run out of prepared rings. That's the little piece. I'm a couple of rings short. So just to show you, I haven't actually finished any off. I'll show you again for anybody that's come in late. The different sizes. I didn't actually get around to finishing any off, but what I'm going to do is just finish off with the two rings there, and then pop one ring between that one on the end, and then attach a clasp to this is what I'm thinking of doing. Scotland rugby. Interesting. Okay. So that little ring on the end helps keep those two big silver rings in place. And just take the weave all the way up to the end and then attach a clasp on the end of that. So that's the 14 gauge, 16 gauge, 18 gauge, and 20 gauge versions. Again, we've tried to do it in ring sizes that allow you to use the colour if you want. But it is quite an easy weave to do once you get the half Persian. The half Persian is a little difficult to handle at such a large ring, such a high AR. It does can get a little out of hand at the beginning. Just keep an eye on that. But once you start stitching it up down the middle, it stops being a problem. I was actually quite surprised at how much I liked this weave, and I really do like it in the 20 gauge. I think it looks absolutely delicious. As I said, you can flip it over. I don't think the other side is as pretty. It's not like the flat Persian, which was quite nice on the other side, but it's not too bad. Okay, so that's it, I think, guys. Does anybody have anything that you need me to talk about, or something they missed? Otherwise, we'll probably end that there. Just quickly go over the sizes again for you. So the 14 gauge is 10 mils on the outside with a 1/4 inch on the inside. The 16 gauge is 7.5 on the outside with the 3/16 on the inside. And this one here, although it's a 6 on the outside, I'd recommend going a 6.25 on the outside. I just didn't have any cut in time. I'll be doing some of that soon. With the 5/32 on the inside, and the 20 gauge has got the 5mm on the outside with the 1/8 on the inside. Okay, so that's it for this week. Thank you to everybody that popped along and joined in and told me their guilty pleasure, and didn't laugh at me about mine, so that's lovely. And we'll see you. We'll see you again next week. So Pauline, you still need the ring sizes, do you? Because I've just rattled them off, but I'll do it once more. So 14 gauge is 10mm on the outside and 1/4 inch on the inside. 16 gauge is 7.5 on the outside and 3/16 on the inside. 18 gauge is 6.25 and 5/32, and 20 gauge is 5 on the outside and 1/8 on the inside. So an actual AR of about 6 for the outside and a 4.2 for the inside works really well. The creator of the weave did suggest 7.1 on the outside, but I found that just a little bit too loose and a little bit too difficult to handle. Alright lovelies, we'll call that a night. Thank you so much for joining in, and I will get that tutorial out to you guys in a few days. We'll get that together and get it out as soon as we can. As usual, I don't have a clue what we're doing next week, but I will find something. If you want something, put a suggestion up for me and we'll give it a go. No guarantee, but we will do our best. Alright, so thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next week.